it amazes me the priorities of a lot of people in this country, especially those in the MAGA Congress. They want to scream, hoff, and holler about what's going on the United States-Mexico border, but they at the same time they completely and totally undermine our efforts to secure the border. All because, and this is directly from a Republican senator, because it'll help President Biden in the next election. Not a surprise there. But now the Congress has voted overwhelmingly to ban TikTok from the United States, all because it's ran by a Chinese company that may or may not have connections with the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese government. Now, do I believe that there should be some safeguards? Absolutely. But honestly, what exactly do you think is going to happen? We already know that social media outlets like Facebook, Instagram, and especially Twitter, now called X by Elon Musk, are always going to have the possibility and the the danger of data being stolen. We know this. Yes, and it's on us, the users of social media, to be responsible. All users of social media. But when you start doing things like this, it only shows me that you're not really worried about the security of our country. You're only worried about control. The real joke to this, and the reason why all of this is just too hypocritical to me, is because that these people are saying that Twitter and TikTok is more of a danger than what's going on in the southern border. The same southern border and the same danger they say that President Biden isn't doing anything about. That they say President Biden is laying an invasion. The evil invasion by the evil Mexican hordes is happening. The joke about this is that you're doing everything you can to undermine our President Biden's response to that invasion, to that quote unquote invasion, to the invasion by the hordes. But you wasted so much time, so much time that the point where you're actually dragging the man who runs TikTok in front of a congressional hearing in order to find out how TikTok is being managed and where it's being managed. What really bothers me about this is you want to scream, hoff, and holler about security, but you're not going to do anything to secure America, not just digitally, but physically. So I can't take this banning of TikTok in the United States seriously, and I really don't think the Senate should either when the bill does go to the Senate. Because quite honestly, what exactly do you think you accomplished? Republicans, I'm asking this question right now. What do you think that you really have accomplished? All you have done is show again how screwed up your priorities are and what your priorities really are is doing everything in the service of Donald Trump. Even Donald Trump himself came against this bill. Of course, for his own reasons, considering the fact he's still trying to become the president of the United States. More on that in a few minutes. But the fact is, even your master Trump came against this bill. So that should tell you something in advance. Now, real quick, I'm going to talk about this. Super Tuesday Part 2. Last night we found out that President Biden got enough delegate votes in order to become the presidential candidate from the Democrat side. And Donald Trump is getting closer and closer and closer to getting the votes to become the presidential candidate on the Republican side. The rematch is on again. Biden versus Trump 2. A rematch that a lot of people are complaining about, a lot of people don't want to see happen, and a lot of people are terrified about the results are going to be. And yeah, I'm one of those people who are terrified of those results. Because as much as I like President Biden, the man is surrounded by enemies on all sides. He's got Republicans who want him gone, and he's got Democrats that want him gone. But I'm more terrified, not just because of that situation, but I am mortally terrified if what happens with Donald Trump becoming president of the United States. If Trump becomes president again, this country will be destroyed. The freedoms we enjoy, TikTok, the TikTok ban will pale in comparison to what Donald Trump has in store for this country, what the Republicans have in store for this country, what the MAGA has in store for this country. They won't do anything that goes for the Republican Party or for America. They will do whatever is in their best interest for complete and total control. They have made that abundantly clear. And the MAGA, they'll just sit back and clap. Some of them will grit their teeth, wondering why did we vote for this guy. But in the end of the day, they'll just do nothing but smile, no matter how many times Donald Trump is in office, on television, or no matter how many times he tweets and posts on Truth Social. All they'll do, is just smile and nod. Yes, Mr. President. Good thing, Mr. President. Congratulations, Mr. President. But when it comes down to it, do you want a man who may have some problems, who may lost a step or two mentally or physically? Or do you want a man like Donald Trump, who's made his intentions implicitly clear as to what he wants to do to this country? It's not to make America great again. It's about, for him, make America Trump again. Make no mistake about what he wants to do. And he's made it perfectly clear what he wants to do. A dictatorship ran by him, answerable to no one, not even the voters, answerable only to himself. Do not let that happen. You may not like the rematch, and you may not like why this is happening again, but in the end of the day, in the final analysis, what other options do we have? If you're thinking about RFK Jr., don't. This guy thinks his running mate, Aaron Rodgers, a football player who's pretty much destroyed his own career in ways that he may not even see the inside of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. A historic career, to be sure. An amazing career, to be sure. He probably might not even see the inside of the Hall of Fame unless he decides to take the guided tour. But here are the facts. On one hand, you have a man who may have lost a step or two cognitively or physically, but has still done everything he can to protect this country, to make it safe. On the other hand, you have a would-be dictator who will somehow destroy this country if he's not being worshipped enough. And you've got an idiot on the third side. Make your choice wisely, Americans. This could be the last election we vote for if Donald Trump wins re-election. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.